Welcome back, everybody. This is Little. See, I've just been doing interviews. Welcome back to the C Show, everybody. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Jared.
Oh, it's great to be back in Philadelphia. I spent the first part of this month working on a nonprofit video. I'm back in Philadelphia now, working on the final project. Of course, that'll be shared out through all of the channels on the C Show and 832 Media's social media channels as well. But just a quick update on today. We're really just trying to get back into the swing of things. Next week is episode 30 already, which is crazy. And then we're just in the last half, or the last part of this year, and then pushing into the holidays. And it's all really exciting. But just give us some grace today. We're going to talk a little bit about September to Remember. We're going to talk about Bell to Bell, Saved by the Bell, some updates there. And then we're probably going to spend the last hour of the show talking about AEW All Out in Toronto. It's going to be a great show. Thanks for joining us here on The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show. I'm Charlie.
I'm still Jared.
Instead of doing something sadistic and making us watch wrestling on Wednesday, I mean, it's not that it's sadistic or it's bad or anything. It's just that, we got other things in our lives. But instead of doing a PLE and then having wrestling the next night or vice versa, AEW blessed us with 3 hours of wrestling on Wednesday night before AEW All Out. Unfortunately, though, I only saw the first 2 hours of the 3-hour show. So we're going to talk about a few of the matches there, and then we're going to get into Bell to Bell. But the first one that I want to talk about is the AEW World Tag Team Title 4-Way Ladder Match qualifier. The Young Bucks defeating the Bang Bang Gang. I mean, this was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. The Bang Bang Gang are fun to watch, and the Bucks were incredible here, setting up for this match. They had just come off winning the $500,000 casino match, set up by Tony Khan at AEW Dynamite on the 10th. And so they've got their new intro. It's all very Succession themed. I didn't know if you saw that or not. Literally, they use the same text from Succession, the TV show, the private jet stuff. I love it. The next match that I want to talk about is Mascara Dorada defeating the Beast Mortos. I mean, this was awesome. Dorada got several Canadian destroyers in. Mortos was just brutal. The shooting star press for the finale, for the pin to win. And that sets up Dorada to face Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker. And at this point, Okada came out with all 3 belts, 2 of them being held by Don Callis. Takeshita also came out and Okada faced off, kind of previewing how that match was going to work. And kind of the dynamic of that match where it's Takeshita and Okada facing off against each other and really the focus of the match, and Dorada trying to shine as well. The promo for the AEW Women's World Championship was incredible. It started out with Toni Storm, the holder at the time, underneath the spotlight in the middle of the ring, and then all of the other women are come in. But of course, Toni, in her fashion, starts it off with, "This whore you all adore, this slut you can't rebut, this trollop you can't wallop. This tramp is still the champ." Oh my gosh. There's just a point where it's just so you want to pay attention. Jamie Hayter interrupts. She wants Toni to remember 3 things. She doesn't forget she was invited by Toni, and Hayter hits hard. Chris Statlander approaches, wants to make her own claim, and Toni reminds us to trim your bushes, bitches. It's going to be all out. That's when Thekla appears, and the refs have to hold Tony back as she comes out for the match with Queen Aminata. I did catch a little bit of the match of Thekla and Queen Aminata. My favorite part, right before the recording cutout, was Aminata with the draping DDT onto the trash can. But before we cut into Bell to Bell, what's at the movies right now?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. Have you seen anything good? I know
It's been a while. The last thing I saw was The Roses, which is a remake of The War of the Roses.
Yes.
Which gets decent reviews from my parents.
I think
and it was also a book.
I think it's technically a adaptation, a modern adaptation of the novel.
Okay, so,
Yes.
well, there was also another. Anyway, I liked it. It was good. It was, nothing crazy, but it was a fun time. I mean, always a fun time at AMC. But also on Thursday, super excited, going to go see Paul Thomas Anderson's newest movie, One Battle After Another. And the Metacritic reviews on that are bonkers.
That's right. At AMC, there's a lot of good things going on. But again, you could support your friends at the C Show. Some other movies going on at AMC right now. Him came out recently. I do want to see that. The reviews on that are mixed. I feel like that's just something. You're shaking your head.
I don't know if they're mixed. I haven't seen any good ones.
Fair enough. We'll leave it there. I had rave reviews of somebody I had dinner with in Virginia who said that they were very excited for Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle. Tenjiro Kamado and other members of the Demon Slayer Corps find themselves in an epic battle at Infinity Castle. Sorry, folks.
And shout out to AMC, not that it matters to me, but they had both showings with subs and showings with dubs.
I did hear about this.
So, AMC appealing to everyone, pretty cool of them.
There's also Spinal Tap 2, which I'm definitely going to check out. As Jared mentioned, coming soon, we've got One Battle After Another. Leonardo DiCaprio and Paul Thomas Anderson work together for the first time. The Smashing Machine, Benny Safdie, and future Storytime topic, The Rock, tell the story of early UFC star Mark Kerr. Listen, and it's almost spooky time. It's almost Halloween time. There is so much horror stuff coming up. Just some highlights: Rocky Horror 50th anniversary, Casper 30th anniversary, Nightmare on Elm Street, Tron Ares, Candyman re-release, all of that good stuff. But again, using this deal directly supports the show. So visit linktree/CShowPod. That's linktr.ee/CShowPod, or click on the link in the description, probably the best way to do it, to access this deal on behalf of your friends at the C Show. And again, you don't have to use the pass. Like, you can buy the tickets. You don't have to use them right now. You can bank them. You can save them for later. If maybe, you don't know what movie you want to see yet, maybe you want to roll the dice at the theaters, you can totally do that as well. Again, T's and C's apply. Please make sure to read the fine print. All right. This was something that we were really looking forward to, and we do have some, I would say, mediocre news, to sort of lead it off with. But last Saturday, the 20th, was Bell to Bell's Saved by the Bell. And it was at the Monster Factory, the Paulsboro Wrestling Club in Paulsboro, New Jersey. We were very excited. We were sponsoring refs Julie and Gina, Savannah Khan, Jess Sky, the photographer. Some really cool women. We got to meet Adriana Mosley, who we're sponsoring this weekend, this Saturday, the 27th, for AXW's Don't Call It a Comeback. Sammy Chaos, who we've seen at BCW. So an update there. Sammy Chaos will not be at Season of the Witch. We both lamented. This is right up her alley. If you're talking about your gimmick, Sammy, this is perfect for you. She will actually be in Japan, so keep your eyes out for her there. That's fantastic. We're really excited for her to go out to Japan to try out that market, potentially get some new eyes on her there. Some other fantastic talent. We talked a little bit with Vicious, Vicky Venuto. Talked a little bit with Becca Wiley. But I mean, Missy Sampson opened up the show. Unfortunately, there were some card updates before the show even started. Valerie Verman and Leah Knight were both unable to make the show for various reasons. We both hope that their situations improve. But also, on a kind of a downer note, like, I started the Missy Sampson chant at the beginning of the show as Missy walked out, and then she was like, "You guys make it so hard." And this might be the last Bell to Bell show for the foreseeable future. Obviously, that's really disappointing for us to hear. We're like hyped up on it. We still are hyped up on it. Like, I don't want to be like, we're throwing in the towel here. I told Missy at intermission, whatever we can do to help, please let us know. So, Missy, whatever we can do, seriously. I know that we have people that we introduced at Bell to Bell to wrestling in person, and I think there's some really interesting things for Bell to Bell in the future. What was your overall review of Bell to Bell's Saved by the Bell, Jared?
Bell to Bell, it was so fun.
Mhm.
This was my first. This is my first live wrestling event of any type, and starting it off with something local. It was so intimate.
Mhm.
You felt like you were part of the show. I mean, everyone there was so great. It was, and they were incredible. I mean, the actual product they were putting out, stands on its own,
Mhm.
let alone calling it a local group. I mean, these are, some talented women, and
Yes.
everyone was so kind, and all the audience had such heart that even though they did start on that sad note, just on the heart that you could tangibly feel in the room, you kind of did get the feeling coming away that nothing's over. As long as the love is still there, I think I wouldn't count them out.
I still think there is a demand for it in the community that Missy has developed, as well as I think in like other communities in our area, where I've talked about this with other people, but like at BCW events, people say what they want, and they say some mean things. They say some very naughty things. If a parent was coming up to me and being like, I want to take my kid to my kid wants to go to a wrestling show. What wrestling show should I go to? Take them to a Bell to Bell show. It was relatively, I feel like very tame.
No, there's
There was
nothing. I mean,
no swearing. I feel like
no, that
very
could have been a
limited.
PG-13 event. I mean,
Straight up, like PG-13. I don't think there was a single F-bomb.
no,
Yeah.
not at all.
And I felt, I was like, oh, we can't even do a holy shit chant. Like, I saw like several kids in front of us, and I was like, well, I just don't want to do it. Like, it's just like, it wouldn't, like, it creates a community in which like you want to be a role model. Like, you want to be,
Yeah,
you want to be better.
that's how it works when it's a small show. The audience is responsible for bringing the mood, setting
Mhm.
the tone,
Yeah.
and that's why if it's a bad crowd, it can go real bad real quick. So having the dedicated fans there who were decent people and
Mhm.
were still so into it without passing any lines
Yes.
was, super impressive to me.
It's very refreshing.
It is.
And also, it's, I feel like it's just like, it was so intimate in the way that like we're walking in intermission, and like some of the talent is just like in between their ring gear and their street clothes, and they're just like outside
Mingling,
they're mingling, they're having some water and getting some fresh air outside. And it's like, okay, you're not gonna get, you barely get that, you kind of get that at BCW, but you're not gonna get it 100%. Like, that is, folks, like, go find your local stuff, go find your, we were sitting on folding chairs on a wrestling mat. So like, there were like class pictures of like, I think going back to like 1939, the Paulsboro wrestling team was very impressive. It was very cool. It was very fun. But if we get into the first match here, since it was potentially the last show of Bell to Bell for the time being, Missy decided to make Stevie Brooks and Journey Burke the Bell to Bell Ruby Championship, the inaugural Ruby Championship. I have to admit, I have a bit of a crush on Stevie Brooks. Not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend to not be biased here. She did fantastic. She beat Journey Burke by pinfall. It was excellent. Anything on Stevie Brooks and Journey?
No, that was a great match. I mean, it was a surprise belt started out on. Beautiful belt. And Stevie seemed like she deserved it. It was pretty cool.
Something that Connor's wife joined us, and something that she said about both of the Bell to Bell belts is that they are really well done. Even from a distance, you can tell like there's a lot of care and artistry put into it. So like that's another reason why we want to see some more ladies fight for those titles. Next up, we had Angel Orsini inducting Missy Sampson into the Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame. Missy, a member of 2 Hall of Fames now, the Hardcore Hall of Fame at the 2300 Arena and the Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame. This was very emotional. I don't think there was a dry eye in the room. Absolutely not. It was beautiful. It was lovely. I don't think I can say anything more about it than that. Missy Sampson, you deserve it. Next up, we had House, who are Sammy Chaos and Adriana Mosley, again, who were sponsoring for AXW's Don't Call It a Comeback. You can go back and listen to episode 27 of the C Show for our interview with her. Again, she was just so much fun. Like, I walked up to the ticket desk, which is just 2 guys with a list and a cash box, handing out giving people bracelets and stuff. And we're standing there like waiting for Missy because there was a mix up with our tickets, our comps. And I don't want to bother talent. They're getting into the zone. So when Adriana came up to me after like I'm checking in, and she gave me a big hug, and I was just like, this is rad. This feels great. I mean, my favorite part so it was House versus Taylor One Shot and Clara Carter. Clara Carter was subbing in for, I believe, Valerie Verman, again, who couldn't make the show. Clara Carter and was supposed to face off against Leah Knight, I believe, also. So that's why she subbed in there. Adriana had some incredible movement, and Sammy, of course, I learned a new chant, Sammy's gonna kill you, Sammy's gonna kill you, and then I do love to trail off on the last Sammy's gonna kill you. Very fun, enjoy it. And again, a little disappointed that we're not going to see Sammy at Season of the Witch. Any thoughts about House?
Yeah, you're gonna yell at me, and
I'm not gonna yell.
All right, you're gonna have a slightly. I'd prefer you yell when you look disappointed. That's when it really hurts. But Clara Carter was so good.
Yes,
I loved her. She was so fun. House still won. Don't forget it. I guess. But Clara Carter won my heart in that match. The way she interacted with the crowd,
yes,
and just how much of a wrestler she was. She was great.
She was very engaged and just like, I mean, again, we're making lemonade out of lemons here, and Clara Carter, you make some fantastic lemonade. We did have the intermission, and then after the intermission, we had Becca Wiley and Valentina Vasquez. Valentina paying homage to the legend, Eddie Guerrero, with the Latin Heat ring gear. I mean, Vasquez is a great heel, and Wiley is just so athletic and very dynamic. It was very fun to watch Becca Wiley win that match. I didn't know if we mentioned it, but House did defeat Taylor One Shot, Clara Carter. Our penultimate match is Gabby Ortiz and Vicious Vicky Venuto. Boy, say that 10 times fast. Vicious Vicky Venuto, Vicious Vicky Venuto.
I don't have to. I just been thinking of Vicky Valancourt, and that's her name in my head.
Who's Vicky Valancourt?
Waterboy. She showed me her boobies, and I like them too.
I totally forgot that the team that they play in the Waterboy is Iowa.
Huh.
Yes.
That's crazy.
The University of Iowa.
Well.
Interesting.
Well, they don't have any great alumni or anything. So.
All right. Gabby Ortiz. She's fantastic. I did see a video that she posted on her Instagram story talking about how she hopes to continue to the bell-to-bell legacy. And again, we want to see some more bell-to-bell action here because the last match of the evening, our main event, was the bell-to-bell Diamond Championship. The Notorious Mimi, accompanied by Zoe Cannon, versus Nixon Newell. Nixon, I believe, is a rising talent in the indies, and again, somebody who was a big get for this show. And again, Mimi is fantastic. Notes I want to hit here are especially Nixon getting the crowd riled up. My favorite part, and I don't know if she heard me, but I was doing Richard Nixon from Futurama the entire time. I am a wrestler.
Podcasts are not a visual medium.
Well, I gotta do the jowls.
When I didn't do the jowls at the event, he goes, no, you've got to hold up the two peace signs.
The two fingers.
The two fingers. And so I want you all to know that even now, Charlie is insistent on doing that. So if you go,
I am not a crook.
You gotta hold up the hand.
Haldeman, get me a chair. Mimi, the move of the match was Mimi hitting a 619 to the crowd. It was very clean, very impressive. Mimi gets the pinfall there, and as Mimi shows off the Diamond Challenge or the Diamond Championship belt, Zoe Cannon, who had been hobbling around with her leg, I believe I want to say her right leg, in a brace, one of those those big mechanical ones, and she takes it off a la Seth Rollins and then hits Mimi with it before walking out. We saw her cutting a promo. I almost talked shit to her in the parking lot, but again, Connor's wife was like, no, you probably shouldn't mess up her promo. And I was like, yeah, but what? Fair. You're right. But again, a fantastic event. And again, Missy, this isn't the last. We hope that this isn't the last Bell to Bell show. We want to do anything in our power that we can do to help. So please just let us know what that is, and we'll be here for it. I almost called you Connor. I'm too comfortable.
Hi, I'm Connor. I lost to Jared in fantasy football this week.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
I don't know. I don't follow, but okay. I did beat him. I was in last place, and now I'm in second last place.
Take that.
But I beat Connor. My only last comment is just to say I had also brought a friend.
Yes.
One of my best friends, my wife's best friend, Emma.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, to say she's a novice in the scene would be, understating it.
Yes.
Considering we have to be like, no, Emma, it's not real. She was like, wait, there's no weight classes? And
oh, yeah.
So when, by the way, you didn't know this, but when Zoe Cannon, because she had it hidden, but she had just torn her ACL, and she has a real version of that cast on.
Yes.
And when she took it off to beat Notorious Mimi, Emma was so betrayed. But while the drive back, she was saying, you said it was not real, but it's not just it's acting, but it's also real athletic.
Yes.
Because my friend Emma, she was a college athlete, and she's still an athlete. So she was watching and going, no, that's gotta hurt. They're really impressive feats of athleticism. So even to hear somebody who had no idea what to expect come out with an actual respect for the craft, to me, I thought was pretty cool.
And again, it just goes to show how hard those women work and how hard Missy works to put together a show that is so impressive like that. And I think, again, like I feel like that is what so long the messaging has been, like, oh, it's real, it's an athletic competition, but like I think it's important to have something that I've been really realizing about wrestling fans is that wrestling fans know bullshit when they see it. They know what a work is.
Oh, for sure.
They like a work being, something fake, like Seth Rollins' injury, right? Or Zoe hobbling around. I think she's partial. It's partial work, partial shoot. But like the idea that it's physical theater, it's athletic theater, has really that's one of the driving ideas behind this podcast. So I'm so thrilled that Emma had that realization herself. And something she mentioned before the show was that somebody on her rugby team mentioned the event, the Saved by the Bell, and we had an extra ticket, folks. I was a little disappointed. I was like, dang. But yeah, go to your local independent stuff. Buy merch. I have Sammy Chaos's 8x10 and Vicious Vicky Venuto's 8x10 on my fridge now. I'm trying to think. I got a bunch of stickers. I got a Bell to Bell shirt too, so that's gonna be sick. And then I get to tell people, oh, it's an all women's wrestling organization in New Jersey. It's run by an awesome, cool person named Mr. Sampson. It's a great time. Go do it.
Also, just because they were talking about it, shout out to the Philadelphia Rugby Football Club, Philadelphia's oldest women's rugby league. I was just at their friends and family match. Oh. Awesome.
Yes, rugby is also very fun to watch, and we should have more of it. But speaking of more of it, we'll have more wrestling talk here on The C Show.
No.
Welcome back to The C Show. We're talking about AEW All Out. They did All In back in July. At the end of this quarter, we do All Out.
That's just good accounting.
It's good accounting. I don't know much about accounting other than you want to bring in more than you spend.
Debits, credits, all that.
EBITDA. I know things. Oh, gosh. What, like, this is our second AEW pay-per-view. A packed, almost 4 hours. There were 9 matches on the pay-per-view, and another 4 beforehand on the 0 hour on the pre-show. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to talk too much about the pre-show here. We're going to just dive right into the pay-per-view. For the first time on HBO Max, I do have to say I was a little disappointed on a technical level by HBO Max's live presentation. I had multiple times in the replay where there were like glitches, dead pixels, dropped frames. I'll mention it when I really noticed it, but it looked like so. Not to get real nerdy, but when you make TV, it's in the color space RGB, right? Red, green, blue. You got, I think it's usually about 256 of those values, red, green, blue. They had the red way too high on the color mix, and it made it really difficult, especially for some wrestlers to like see if they were bleeding, if they were like what was going on in their face. It really distorted a lot of things. I was a little disappointed by it. But other than that, you can't complain about the $10 discount if you're an HBO Max subscriber.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And, I think just the easier that AEW makes it to watch AEW, the better it's going to be. I saw so much reaction, not to talk too much about the Fed, the WWE, what's going on over there, but did you see the WrestlePalooza review from ESPN?
No, I didn't.
ESPN, the people who put on WrestlePalooza and used it as their premiere, oh, this is our first live event with the WWE, ESPN critics gave it a C. Like, the only thing propping up that C, too, I'll talk about this more with Connor later, but is Io Sky and Stephanie Vicaire, winning the women's championship in the WWE. And that was the only thing propping up that C. I mean,
damn.
Not to sound like my parents when I was in high school, but you can do a lot better than that. There was literally a sign at WrestlePalooza behind Brock Lesnar that said, "We all know why he shouldn't be here." That match was truly a disgrace. I didn't even watch it. I just heard about it. But, like, just letting Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of John Cena on his retirement tour, shameful. Moving on. Bryan Danielson joins us on commentary, and then we go into the Cage and Cope intro. Of course, we're talking about, FTR bringing Cope back into wrestling, into AEW, et cetera, et cetera. They've been nothing but nice to him, but now they want to take him out for good. CNC are walking around the bowels of the Scotiabank Arena. They talk about Wendell Clark, Cope's favorite hockey player. And look, there he is. Okay, trivia question for you, Jared. Wendell Clark was the first overall pick in 1985. Can you name the number 1 overall pick in the NHL draft the year before?
I don't follow hockey.
Okay.
So I'm going to intuit.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint.
Oh, good.
I'll give you 2 hints.
I need 3.
He played for one team his entire career, and that team is one of the 2 NHL teams in Pennsylvania.
This really does not work. I really don't follow hockey. Mario Lemieux.
You are correct.
Oh my God, it's one of 4 names I know. Look at me go.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm so impressed with myself.
I thought the applause was going to be on there, folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we really got to get an applause.
There is an applause.
I deserve.
You do deserve that. And then, of course, Bubbles.
The green bastard.
So, for my parents, pretty much, Bubbles is a character from the Canadian television program Trailer Park Boys. I highly recommend the first couple of seasons. Once they go into HD, it's just really not worth it.
True. The
episode where J-Rock, the white rapper, gets caught masturbating.
It could happen to you because it happened to me.
A perfect episode of television. But yeah, Bubbles offers his help, but they politely decline. Cage does get a little feisty with Bubbles. He is the green bastard from Parts Unknown. They cut to the green bastard. And he does remind them he's got their back. And, of course, Bubbles, in that Nova Scotian lilt, goes, "Start fucking hammering them." That leads into our first match here, Cope and Cage versus FTR. Again, just a reminder, Cash Wheeler, hair. Dax Wheeler, or Cash Wheeler, was
Cash Wheeler hair, and then Dax Hardwood mustache. No hair.
Hardwood. I put them as both Cash Wheeler and Dax Wheeler. So
Cash Wheeler, Utah.
AEW before and after for 600, please, Ken. An interesting thing that Bryan Danielson brings up in this match is Toronto being a central character in the match. A really interesting thought there. It kind of does feel like a home. It is a big homecoming match for Cope, being from Canada, being from Toronto, and then also like the moment where Cope, who wrestled as Edge in the WWE and had a big rivalry with John Cena, pays homage to John Cena by doing a 5-knuckle shuckle, by doing the attitude adjustment. I can't remember who I was watching, but they were talking about how it was really great that AEW commentary gave that moment to Cope to honor John when they were both wrestling on the same day, and then on a different part of the other side of the country, or on in North America and in Indianapolis. WWE was just disrespecting John Cena like that. I'm trying to think some other hell yeahs here, but the huge vertical suplex by Cash. Stokely bringing up the ring apron to get the count out. Let me know some of your hell yeahs here.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same thing. Cope's homage to Cena.
Mm-hmm.
He hit whatever you want to call it, the Death Valley Driver or whatever Cena called it specifically. I always love it, the double sharpshooters.
Yes.
They had them both in it.
Mm-hmm.
Stokely just being a whole little worm.
Mm-hmm.
Dude sucks.
They did have a really sweet dolly zoom on Stokely that I really loved. Cope breaking up the shatter machine and going for the pin on Dax. Loved that. Beth Copeland coming out to deal with Stokely. Speaking of annoying guys, and her dealing with him. I wrote in my notes here. Stokely grabs the ref. That's why you get no hose. This was a 18-minute match. Great way to start the show. Before I say 18 minutes, 5 seconds. Cope kicks out after 2 shatter machines and then gets a spear on Dax, while Christian holds back Dash for the finale here. Pin to win, 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Let's fucking go, Edge. Cope. His name is Cope. Anything else from the match before we talk about what happened after the pin here?
No, obviously, I want to get to that, let's just say.
Yeah. So, of course, Mother Wayne and Nick have something to say, and FTR attack from behind. Kip Sabian handcuffs Copeland to the ropes, and Kip attacks Christian. Another spike pile driver on Christian by FTR. Nick laughs from his wheelchair. FTR spike pile driver on Beth after she attacks. A disgusting act, just unconscionable. They won, but at what cost? Next up, we've got Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill with Brian Keith. Real quick before we get into this match, Eddie Kingston is one of the people referenced multiple times by Missy Sampson during her speech at Bell to Bell. Eddie sounded like a big influence and a mentor for her, and so really thrilled that Eddie and Missy both got big days on Saturday. Fun fact about Eddie Kingston and why we will always love Eddie Kingston in this house. He worked as a union iron worker early in his career. A union guy.
Union strong.
He comes out in the Claudio Sucks Eggs shirt. A great reference to the Dusty Sucks Eggs shirt that Terry Funk used to wear. Now, we talked about Toronto being a central character in the last match. I think it's really interesting in this match. The 2 New York guys fight in Toronto, a city that so often plays New York City in movies and television.
This is true.
Yeah. I just thought that was really interesting where they're like, we're 2 New York guys, and we're going to fight. And it's like, well...
I've seen people that look like Eddie Kingston in New York, usually Queens, frequently. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody look like Big Bill walking down what I would assume to be the Lower East Side. like a
Big Bill's not walking around Astoria, let's put it that way.
No. They each have their borough, to which they clearly belong.
Eddie Kingston, I feel like, is also like Eddie is from Yonkers technically, but also I feel like that type of guy is a Staten Island through and through.
I feel like Eddie Kingston I feel like Eddie Kingston and Action Bronson must have grown up in similar places.
I need that. Fuck, that's delicious episode.
Fuck, that's Eddie Kingston.
There probably is a Action Bronson line about Eddie Kingston. This was such an awesome match for Kingston. Did you have anything to get into before I get into the finale here?
No, this was honestly my first introduction to Eddie Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
They called him King of the Bums, and I've never seen someone so accurately live up in physical appearance. Though we don't say bum, guys. All right. But also he took off his shirt. He had smaller nipples than I expected for a man of that stature. I wrote that down, actually. That's in my notes.
Hard-hitting analysis and commentary you get on the C Show.
Look, if you want to know about fat man's nipple sizes, I'm your fucking guy, all right? Connor's gonna love that.
Oh my goodness. Big Bill turns the Rana from Eddie into a chance to beat him down. It could have totally pinned him there. Commentary notes how Big Bill isn't fully in this match. Eddie could have taken advantage easily, and Eddie gets his chance. He hits Bill with the back fist and pins Big Bill for the win. 1, 2, 3. But Brian Keith attacks. Bill joins in, and then the lights turn out. It's Hook's light. I've been on the road. I've been on vacation. I mean, I have been. Sorry, folks. Big Bill goes for the kick, and Hook dodges. Again, we're talking about Hook. Hook holds up Keith for Eddie to attack. Hook and Eddie hug. Eddie says a bad word. Hook tries to hold the ropes open for Eddie, but he slides underneath. A great return for a living hardcore legend. Next up, we've got White Collar versus Blue Collar. Mark Briscoe versus MJF in a tables and tacks match. Listen, folks.
Gruesome.
Okay, if we're going to start a PLE at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, maybe let's put the guys who are going to stab each other and throw a bunch of tacks on each other and throw each other through tables and stuff. Let's have them go later. You know, maybe, I don't know, man. It just kind of feels like bad programming, especially if you want to like bring kids in and stuff, because you're like, oh, well, like let's take the kids out so that they don't watch Mark Briscoe and MJF brutalize each other. I mean, this is one where I go into caps real quick. But I think really interestingly, White Collar versus Blue Collar, MJF leans into it. Briscoe comes out in the wife respecter and camo cargo pants. He gets it. MJF gives a low blow to Briscoe on the apron. MJF, who had tried to avoid the ring at all costs after Briscoe laid out all of the tacks around the ring, MJF escapes into the ring and realizes, ooh, gosh. The crowd reminds him with "You fucked up" chants. MJF drives Briscoe's forehead into the tacks. I mean, once the wife respecter came off, I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be bloody." MJF wearing white was certainly a choice.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Briscoe's flying kick comes at a cost, but he slams MJF again. The tacks are in the back of Briscoe's head at this point. At this point, I go, oh, and we still have the coffin match later. Briscoe goes flying, sending MJF into the barricade. The table's finally coming back into place. The Sabu homage, the Arabian press through the tables. I couldn't not mention it. Briscoe hits the flying elbow through the fucking table. At this point, Briscoe set up a chair with thumbtacks before the match. Put it under the ring. He pulls it out. The crowd's reaction. Did you notice the crowd's reaction when they see the tacks on the seat of the chair?
Oh yeah.
They were like, ah, oh, and like it was waves of the Scotiabank Arena realizing what was going on. Where was I in my notes? The chair shot to Briscoe, the tombstone pile driver, let it be over. Let's go. Here's my favorite joke in my notes. Let's go tax. I love taxes. They fund roads and schools and corn subsidies and research grants for defense. I mean, oh, no, like tax. Oh, okay. MJF escapes the double underhook and digs his teeth into Briscoe. Off the top turnbuckle, Briscoe hits the froggy bow through the table. Another one. And then the Jay Driller in homage to the late Jay Briscoe. Do it for Jay. 1, 2, 3. Pin to win for Mark and Jay Briscoe. R.I.P. With the Crimson Mask, Mark celebrates with the fans before telling the camera, That's how we do. I loved this match. I thought it was really fun to watch. There was a lot of like great storytelling. There's a lot of moments where you're like, oh my gosh. But it's not even the bloodiest match. It's not even the the most like we were talking about like with the Wyatt Six and the WWE like horror wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And like I think like hardcore and horror wrestling are two different things.
The Butcher.
Like the Undertaker, I think is one of like the major mainstream introductions of horror wrestling, quote unquote, like coffin matches and that sort of thing, sort of a supernatural entity. But I mean, for a hardcore match, this was fantastic. MJF definitely has the bona fides to do. Like, I mean, the bona fides is there. As a wrestler, I mean, the man has technical ability. The man is one of the best on the mic, on the men's side of the game. And then to show off in a match like this, where Mark does win, but there's some amazing storytelling in that. Probably one of my matches of the event.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, I had one or two fun things.
Hit me.
My favorite thing, Briscoe. You know, he's the blue collar and the blue collar white collar.
Mm-hmm.
But he was smart thinking.
Mm-hmm.
By embedding a bunch of tacks in his head,
Mm-hmm.
he made himself less bald, thus ingratiating himself to the notable bald hater MJF. And disarming him with his shiny hair.
Speaking of balds, Taz tags in for Tony Schiavone, who had joined for the first half. I think Tony needed to go to bed. Taz mentions how Jerry could never mind his own business. In the previous segment there, Lexi tried to interview Jerry Lynn, Max Caster, and Anthony Bowens. And again, we're getting this whole Max Caster, Anthony Bowens. Are they going to team up? Are they not? Who knows? But Taz mentions how Jerry can never mind his own business. But speaking of your own business, what about your dog food? Yes, that's right. It's the Farmer's Dog. It's a service that delivers gently cooked, freshly made pet food with balanced recipes, guided by science and driven by love. Listen, let's cut to it, folks. It's human-grade dog food for your family's furriest members. Here's how it works. You build your plan. You simply tell them a little bit about your dog. They will create a plan with personalized portions to meet their unique nutritional and caloric needs. You'll try it out. To start, you'll get your first box with up to 2 weeks of freshly made food. And if you and your dog love it, you're all set. You'll start receiving boxes of food automatically whenever you're running low. Free and flexible deliveries, nationwide shipping around the U.S., eco-friendly packaging, and around-the-clock customer service. If you order now through the link on the show description to get 50% off your first box, remember, if you use the link linktree/cshowpod, again, that's linktr.ee/cshowpod, or you click on the link in the description, you're directly supporting the C Show and putting food on our tables. Thanks, and back to the show, because we've got The Demand, which is Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona fighting the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP. I just want to say, MVP, you did fantastic. You looked great, but we can tell that there's a reason why you're the mouthpiece, the manager of the group. This one was kind of rough. It was just kind of the Demand, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona beating up the Hurt Syndicate there. You wonder, do they hurt people?
Yeah, they were going light on the hurting people.
Yeah. Ricochet, your tailbone and back must be destroyed at this point. I feel so bad for you. Just rolling into the finish here. we've got Khan with the backstabber on MVP, and Toa comes flying in as well. Toa Leona has a chair for Lashley, who runs right into it. Benjamin jumps off the chair to attack Leona, and a drop kick by Khan. Ricochet goes flying. The Demand launched Toa Leona into Lashley and Benjamin. MVP suplexes Ricochet, who wanted to come in with the flying elbow, but Ricochet hits the spirit gun with Khan's assist. Pins MVP for the win. 1, 2, 3. Next up, we've got Mercedes Moné and Riho in a match for the AEW TBS Championship. Some quick notes about Riho here. In May 2019, Riho began making appearances for AEW. She defeated Nyla Rose to become the inaugural AEW Women's World Champion, holding the title for 133 days before Rose defeated her at Revolution. Riho also began appearing in World Wonder Ring Stardom, one of the groups that was at Forbidden Door, working in conjunction with her AEW commitments. She won the High Speed Championship in her first match for the promotion and held the title for 351 days, almost a year, dropping it to AZM in July of 2020. A good match.
Yeah, this was a fun match. I mean, I love watching Mercedes Moné, and I was, new to Riho, but she brought a lot of cool energy.
Yes.
I'll just throw out my little hell yes if I can.
My favorite thing about Riho was asking to jump up onto the commentary desk.
Yeah, that's great.
But please continue.
Mercedes got Riho stuck in the ring apron.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. That was awesome. Riho had her Rey Mysterio moment with the 619, and Mercedes got hers with a drop kick to the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily didn't end the same.
Ouch.
That's a dark joke. Riho, here's what Mercedes sunset flip power bomb into the corner, the back of Riho's head being launched into the second buckle.
Yes.
That was a great move. Awesome work all around. And Mercedes lung blower.
Yes.
Always fun.
I think one of my favorite moments was commentary going, Mercedes' knee is at a grotesque angle. I love that word, grotesque. Riho countering the frog splash by Moné. This was really fun. Just kind of like two sort of cruiserweight women just going at it. Very athletic, very dynamic, very fun to watch. Taz recognizing the technique of Riho's suplex before the finale here. Mercedes grabbing the ref, who is distracted, and then gouges out Riho's eyes. It's the Moneymaker pin to win for Mercedes. 1, 2, 3. Next up, we've got Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita and Mascara Dorada in a 3-way match for the AEW Unified Championship. My gosh, we've got a few more matches here, folks. This is match 10 of 14 on the entire card. But this one was also a blockbuster.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got more to come. But to me, this is one of the top. And It is down to one man. Mascara Dorada.
Lucha Libre.
I am going to have to go back and watch the fight. The match to get into this match from the 17th of September.
Worth it.
Dude is unbelievably athletic.
Yes.
The multiple flip ups. I mean, just the things he were doing, the sheer athleticism.
Yes.
Is just if he was doing all of this in a leotard on a mat, I would still be like, oh man, this is freaking entertaining. It's
so good.
He is so good.
All of the masked luchadors in AEW are so incredible. Mascara Dorada, the Beast Mortos, who he faced in the match, the preliminary match before this, Hologram, who we're gonna talk about it next week, but I need to see that evil hologram. I need to see the dark hologram sooner rather than later. as I mentioned earlier, and when in the September to Remember segment earlier in the show, this was really Okada and Takeshita facing off against each other. They are in the Don Callis family. Callis is asked about this at the beginning when he joins commentary, and he just says, "I'm playing Moneyball." But again, Takeshita throws Dorada out of the ring to get started, and it's Takeshita and Okada, and Dorada every single time is just going insane. Takeshita with the brainbuster on the ramp. Okada having Dorada in the hold, tries to remove the mask. Dorada can barely fight back, but then gets into puts a tornado into an arm drag on Okada, still into this thing. My favorite part after this was my name, Yosoi Mascara Dorada, and I like to spin. That guy just likes to spin. He was just like, you know what? That's a good trick. I like spinning. And, oh my gosh, all the tornadoes. Takeshita Blue Thunder Bomb. Dorada seeing Takeshita and Okada on the top turnbuckle, and then Rana's both of them off of the top rope.
Yeah, no, that was sick. I had that written down too.
Field goal, touchdown, goal, whatever. It was so good.
Again, Charlie does the hand motions, which is only for me to know.
Dorada with another amazing sequence. It's just that Okada and Takeshita are that good. Dorada's fighting for his place, and Okada puts him back. Takeshita kicks out at 2.99 after a huge Poison Rana. And Insigiri by Okada, but Dorada hits the DDT on the apron. Superplex by Takeshita on Dorada. A Raging Fire on Dorada by Takeshita, and a Rainmaker by Okada on Dorada. Pin 1, 2, 3. Okada wins and retains. Wow. What a match.
What a match.
What a match, folks. A 21-minute match. Listen, it's not the longest match on the card, not by a long shot. Next up, we've got the coffin match. Jon Moxley with Marina Shafir versus Darby Allin. The one rule is that the winner must seal their opponent in the coffin. I mean, this is one that's just brutal. Again, like Bryan Danielson, the guy on commentary, says that he doesn't let his kids watch Jon Moxley matches, especially on PPV, because they always go bloody. And
yeah, that sounds right.
There's a time and a place for it. But this was one where I was like, yikes. Oh my gosh. Here are some of my hell yes. Mox stomping on Darby, then dropping him on the barricade nuts first. Mox goes for his pocket and Darby goes for the ear. At this point, you just look at Mox's neck and face, and it's just covered in blood. This is the first point where I noticed that the reds were too high. It was just really difficult because the paler skin tones, less melanated skin, Caucasian, it kind of ends up being pink on camera. It looks a little bit more pink on camera, and so they needed to turn it down a little bit so you could see that differentiation. And don't be like, Charlie, it's your monitor. No, it's not my monitor. My monitor is calibrated, folks. At this point, Darby spears Mox into the coffin. Thumb to Darby's eye as Mox's face gets raked. Marina interferes with the turnbuckle. And then the Death Riders come out. Daniel Garcia, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta. Fuck you, Yuta. Brian wants to get involved, but Darby said, no, please don't get involved. They did talk during September to Remember. What did they talk about? Brian won't tell us. One of my hell yeah moments, Mox says, I love you. He kisses Darby, tosses him away, and then Darby pulls a shiv from the fucking turnbuckle. It's a fork, actually, but in my notes, I was like, oh my God, that's a shiv. He's stabbing Mox's head. Brian says, fuck being objective, let's go, Darby. Darby returns the favor twice fold on Moxley, slamming his fingers into the lid of the coffin. At this point, afterwards, Mox is relocating his fingers on television. Again, physical theater, folks.
Yeah, it was incredible finger acting.
That was not acting.
Finger presentation.
Yes. Darby gets a real pipe. That's actually a real pipe. You're like, Charlie, that was foam. He smacked that against the steel. They couldn't have timed that better. Mox has the fork, but Darby gets it back. And as Darby is almost slammed in the coffin by Mox, he puts the pipe in. It protects him. Brian pulls out a bag, and Darby happens to get it. And inside is a body bag. Give him what he deserves, Darby. This is horror wrestling at its finest. Truly like horror wrestling. There are points where I'm like, oh, like this is terrible. This is murder. The crowd chants. It's Pac. He's back. He attacks Darby. He's the ace up Mox's sleeve. The razor's edge onto the coffin, onto the floor, outside the ring. Pac puts Darby in the coffin. Moxley closes the lid with his foot. It's fucking over. The Death Riders, the pallbearers at Darby Allin's funeral. The crowd boos. That's his fault, Moxley tells the camera. He didn't ask for this. Wow.
Yeah, that was a crazy match. It's been the last coffin matches I would have seen would have been The Undertaker. So it was super cool. My quick hell yes just to keep him moving. This fight starting out in the crowd, Darby jumping off of the top of like the tunnel entrance.
Yeah. Oh my
from
gosh.
a top. No one does throws, like gets thrown or jumps off things to me quite like Darby Allin.
He's one of a kind.
Like that man, aside from having like an awesome shtick, is just like so like he clearly does not care to avoid taking like legitimate risks.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me, but hey, props to you, my guy. Yeah, let's see what else. My quick hell yes. Darby had his Mike Tyson moment, biting off the ear.
I like biting ears.
The spear, both of them ending up in the coffin. Fuck Utah.
Yeah, but a fantastic match, and really one that, again, I feel like in terms of violence, sets AEW apart and ahead of the competition. But speaking of competition, Mark Briscoe is with the conglomeration backstage. Mark reminds us it's time to look forward. It's Wednesday night. Mark challenges the Don Callis family to a 6-man tag team match. Kyle O'Reilly is on the phone with someone who says whatever, so it's going to be Orange Cassidy. Mark Briscoe is so excited. Next up, we've got Chris Statlander versus Timeless Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, and Thekla for the AEW Women's World Championship. There's no champion's advantage for Tony. The champion does not need to be pinned for the title transfer. And the promo to start this, I posted it on the C-Show story. I posted it on my own personal story. It rocked. Oh my gosh. Timeless Tony Storm. You know, I really just kind of want to talk about the end here. The first thing that I'll talk about before I let you get to your hell yes is Wheeler Yuta coming out to talk to Statlander.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Certainly interesting. So what were your hell yes before I get into mine and the finish?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, to me, it was such a good match. Thekla was like the main character to me.
Yes.
From the end when all three of them get tired and all kick her at once, to how it got started off with Thekla pulling the drunk police officer move and beating a woman with her belt. Is that a thing I can say on this podcast?
40%. Google it.
Hey, Cap. Yeah, so Thekla, so spidery. Yeah, she was crazy. That was an awesome match.
I hate bugs, Tony says, and she smashes the Austrian arachnid. Hayter with the double suplex on Tony and Statlander. Statlander with the tombstone piledriver outside the Saturday Night Fever. Tony gets her own tombstone power driver after an insane hip attack. Thekla breaking up a pin after an incredible sequence by Hayter on Storm, including a Haterade. And again, I have to agree, Thekla was really the MVP of this match. But getting into the finale here, Thekla with the spear on Hayter on the apron. And Statlander turns the seatbelt, the move that Wheeler Yuta used when he first started with Jon Moxley. She uses it on Tony Storm, pins the win, 1, 2, 3. In my notes here, I said, holy shit, if it was going to be any of them, let it be Statlander. Harley Cameron comes out to celebrate. Just a local connection. Our friend Leo Sparrow, friend of the show, who we're sponsoring for, also sponsoring for AXW's Don't Call It a Comeback. He used to train with Chris Statlander back at the Creator Pro Wrestling Academy on Long Island. Harley Cameron comes out to celebrate with Chris Statlander. An incredible achievement for Stat. I believe this is her first reign as AEW Women's World Champion. She had previously held the under title for the women's division. Next up, we've got a 4-way ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. We've got Brody King, and Bandito with the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey, and the Don Callis family, Hechicero and Josh Alexander. I said if Brodito didn't retain, I was going to freak out. I almost cried over Tony Storm losing last night. Cállate. That means shut up in Mexican. Don Callis, honorary American. This was just a hell yeah generator of a match.
Oh, for sure.
One of my favorite moves just early in the match was Brody using the ladder to his advantage and then slamming Hechicero and Josh Alexander back into the barricade with the ladder. The Don Callis family working together with the Bucks. Nicholas Jackson moonsault onto Brody on an elevated ladder. The pendulum DDT on Knight by Knight on Brody. Good gosh, there's so much. The Bucks and Jet Speed having a chicken fight before Brodito.
Hell yeah, I had that. That's great.
Decided to do the same thing to get Brodito up on top. Hechicero setting up a submission pin on the ladder, propped up on the other ladder. Hechicero holding his head. Speedball then pops with a shooting star press on the ladder on Hechicero. The Young Bucks go through the tables while Bailey gets slammed on a ladder by Brody King, which snaps the ladder in half.
Yeah, never seen that before. Nuts.
Brody King and Hechicero go out at the top of the ladder, but Alexander pulls him off for the backbreaker and tosses Brody to the mat. You got some hell yes?
Yeah, I mean, I got too many. Let me start off by saying, after this match, I think it's official with the amount of fighting the Young Bucks have done and the violence they've been put through in this match. They're now like the middle-aged Bucks. That's the worst joke I've ever made, and I love it. I wrote it down, and I looked at it, and I said, that's dumb. I'ma say it. Jet Speed is like, younger, and so much, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Young Bucks are OGs of independent wrestling. They've been doing this for like almost 20 years, but you're absolutely right.
I looked at them, and I'm like, they gotta update their, but
I think it's Matt, and Matt's hairline, it's receding, pal.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a ladder match.
Not to be throwing stones in my glass house, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's a ladder match, and they look like mid-career Hardys. Yeah, that's a tough one.
This is before or after Jeff got clean?
Somewhere in the transition, after rock bottom, but before before you can say, all right, he's clean again. Still got a layer of filth on him. At least they got their entrance song back. Bandito overhead pressing Hechicero.
Yes.
What the How the hell do you do that? That's crazy.
Josh Alexander doing almost the same thing with Brody King in the backbreaker position.
Yeah, you're right. That is, I mean, Brody King is the baddest guy in AEW to me.
He is the badass motherfucker of AEW.
I mean, I don't think any other AEW talent has had cameos, and I think you should leave. So that kind of on its face wins him the argument.
I'm waving my hands. I'm gesticulating wildly.
You would have never seen gesticulation quite like this. But who even fucking needs a ladder when you can just sit on Brody King's back on his shoulders and be like 11 feet tall or something like that?
Yeah, basically.
Mike Bailey's flip splash on Hechicero on the ladders looked like it was so unbelievably painful for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I rest in peace, Jet Speed. I guess Young Bucks are now the youngest people again. They look dead. I mean, Kevin Knight also climbs a ladder slower than my grandmother does. Did. She's also dead.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Nana. Definitely would have been confused by all that's going on.
Listen, I'll tell you what. My grandma cannot do a burrito moonsault with the ladder off the top turnbuckle. She can't do that. Mm-mm.
Not on her own.
That's why we're bringing in a CNA to help. We're helping my grandma do moonsaults. You got any other hell yes you want to mention?
No, that match was just sick. I loved it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, Brody gets the self-harm dive to play defense while Bandito climbs the ladder. Brody plays some more defense. Bandito gets them both to retain. Let's freaking go. As the Bucks look on, Jack Perry faces off with him in the ring. They super kick Perry. He's down. Blackout. Cut to pre-tape. Who's towing that coffin? I thought this was some John Moxley stuff. Oh, it's Jack Perry and Killswitch / Luchasaurus. Killswitch hits the double chokeslam on the Bucks. Luchasaurus takes off the Killswitch belt, tosses it into the crowd. Perry and Luchasaurus embrace. Now you may be like, is Jack Perry related to superstar actor Luke Perry? Yes. Yes, he is. It's his son.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Luke Perry, too, right?
Oh, really? Oh, frick. We're going to have to Google. I think so.
He had some stroke, because I remember
from
the Riverdale community.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. March 2019.
Yeah.
Jeez, he was 52.
Yeah, it was in the middle of Riverdale's run. Yeah, rest in peace, Luke Perry.
Your son's a cool wrestler.
I had to look this up because I was so intrigued by it.
Mm-hmm.
Their partners, and I guess we've been talking about, is it Killswitch? Is it Luchasaurus? It seems like with Lucha, he took off the Killswitch belt,
yes,
and chucked it into the crowd.
He's now Luchasaurus,
and I think he's going back to Luchasaurus, which I believe on my research is how he started.
Mm-hmm.
Their tag team dates back to 2019.
Okay,
when it was a young Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, and it was billed as their tag team was a boy and his dinosaur.
That's awesome. I love that. That's all I wanted to be when I was,
Yeah, I want a Luchasaurus dinosaur.
14, 24, 31.
Still.
But wait. We cut to backstage. Marina Shafir gets the camera to go live on Moxley, giving a eulogy for Darby Allin over the coffin. Show's over, Moxley tells the camera, but Allin pops out and puts Mox in the body bag face down. The camera sort of zooms in on Allin, and he sprays Mox with something and then lights him on fire. I thought they'd switched out Mox with a dummy, but no, that was a real person in there. This feud will continue. How will they go from here?
Yeah, cue John Moxley crawling out of a burnt body bag like Frank Reynolds crawling out of the couch.
It's too hot.
It's too hot. If he was also naked, we all would have been big fans.
Last Christmas, I made my parents watch It's a Very Sunny Christmas, and the two scenes that made them
my mom's Santa Claus.
3 scenes that made them very uncomfortable were Charlie biting, Charlie learning that his mother was a sex worker and had sex for Charlie's presence. Charlie then biting Santa Claus, and Frank busting out of the couch.
I gotta watch that again. That's one of the greatest episodes.
That is a Christmas tradition in my family.
Oh, amazing.
Is on after all we do, all the presents and everything. Like 1, 2 in the afternoon, we just start watching Christmas specials.
I feel like my dad would like that. I gotta make sure he's seen it.
So we'll flip around and we'll do like 30 Rock and Bob's Burgers. Bob's Burgers is good because my mom likes that. My mom loves Bob's Burgers.
Everyone should like Bob's Burgers.
If you don't, I'll beat you with Chekhov's crowbar.
If you don't like it, you don't have either a sense of humor or a heart.
You thought I was kidding?
Oh, he brought out a crowbar.
I have a freaking This is Chekhov's crowbar.
The Bob's Burgers episode, the one recent, I think it was a Christmas episode with Louise writing a poem. It makes my wife cry every time.
That's got to be good. Okay. All right. Don't watch that with my mom. Don't watch that with my mom. Speaking of things I don't want to watch with my mom, a singles match for the AEW Men's World Championship. Hangman Adam Page against Protostar Kyle Fletcher. The rule for this match, Hangman stipulated that Kyle has to do this by himself. No member of the Don Callis family can interfere. What a match. What a match. Every Hangman match is like truly like a Western. You think your hero is down and out, and then it just comes through for you. Fletcher looked incredible here. Fletcher's 26. Again, just like in the promo for this, he was talking about how I'd say when my prime is, and I say my prime is now until I say it's over. And he is just, oh my gosh. Again, the ceiling's so high. He was forewarned, but not forearmed. Fletcher just immediately going after Hangman's neck injury, attacking the neck, attacking the athletic tape all over Hangman's right side of his neck. Again, the Michinoku driver by Fletcher targeting Hangman's neck. A moonsault by Hangman to Fletcher on the outside. Back-to-back power bombs by Hangman. Kick to Fletcher's midsection while Hangman has him in the corner. Hangman tombstone on the outside, Fletcher holding his head in pain, and Hangman returns the spiked head drop on the outside. Eye for an eye, a neck for a neck, Danielson notes. Any other hell yes? Or what are your hell yes?
I mean, hell yeah when Kyle Fletcher does bad. No thank you when Kyle Fletcher does good. He makes me so uncomfortable.
He does look like Sid if he bleached his hair. Sid from Toy Story.
Yeah, we said this before. With you know what it struck me as like a worse, more in your face sexual sadism Gold Dust. like if Gold Dust took off his suit and it was just vascular pink. The whole man is a penis.
I mean, that's why Don Callis loves him so much.
And you know he's good because of how much I legitimately don't like him. Like it's real. I don't like looking at that man. I did not like when he was winning. I'm not even a Hangman fan.
Its smug aura mocks me.
It's I don't like it. It's not about the wrestling. I don't like it. But shout out to Hangman Adam Page for the indomitable human spirit carrying him through it. Thank God he won. This was a 38-minute match. I had to put my eyeballs on that man so much. And he's wearing nothing. And the pink he's wearing matches the pink he is.
That's what I'm saying. The reds were so high, it made Kyle Fletcher just look like a giant pink blob. If you don't have great vision, like doesn't look good. Like, yeah, he does kind of look like a penis. Like, oh my gosh, when you said it, I was like, yeah, no, those boots don't help.
I mean, the peach fuzz of his head.
Yeah. My God,
it's rough, man.
It's bad. Wardrobe, help, please. But any notes on the match?
You know, Adam Page, he went 1 for 4 on the buckshot lariat. It just kept not happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he finally got one, even if it was at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Fletcher catching Hangman coming off the ropes, flipping off with a perfect in-air kick was just such good timing and athleticism. Like that, I can't imagine the split-second nature you have to start that and land it like perfectly. Super impressive.
It just, no, again, Fletcher is just such a powerhouse already. Fletcher kicking out of the powerbomb position and then them trading kicks. Hangman dead-eyeing Fletcher through the table, and Callis is seriously concerned. Retribution for Kenny Omega. Hangman hits the Omega knee. A Liger driver on Fletcher, and he still kicks out. Fletcher hits the spine buster, and Hangman kicks out. Callis and Danielson both can't believe it. Hangman almost looks done after Fletcher hits another brain buster on him. Fletcher removes the turnbuckle covers. Kyle tells Paul the ref to shut the fuck up, and Fletcher kicks Hangman on the exposed turnbuckle. Hangman fights out, headbutts. Fletcher goes down on the exposed steel. Hangman, dead-eye, off the top turnbuckle. That buckshot lariat in the middle of the ring by Hangman. Pin to win and retain. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Hangman, still the AEW Men's World Championship.
Thank goodness.
In a almost 40-minute match. What a blockbuster. Listen, we're not going to spend too much more time talking about AEW All Out. I think we all agree it was a fantastic show. We've got some more news here at the end of The C Show. Welcome back to The C Show. Everybody, I have some really good news here today for you. From NBC News, Raja Jackson was arrested. He was arrested on Thursday and is being held on $50,000 bail, according to Booking Records. He was charged with battery. Former WWE superstar David Otunga, this is via YouTube and thestunner.com. He said that Raja won't be charged with attempted murder because there needs to be more evidence of premeditated intent. Quote, while Raja's statements are quite incriminating and they show premeditation, they don't show specific intent to kill. There was nothing that was said that was specifically related to killing or ending Psycho Stu's life. So without that, the burden for attempted murder just cannot be met. Technically, prosecutors can charge Raja with attempted murder. However, it's highly unlikely that they'll reach their burden of proof and secure a conviction, and they definitely want they want a conviction here, end quote. So, some really good news here. It's still pretty early in the process. If you've watched Law and Order, this doesn't get wrapped up in an hour, nice and neat. Stabler and Elliot don't get to hang out afterwards. But listen, some really good news there to see something happen, some sort of consequences for Raja Jackson's actions. Folks, listen, if you're going to stream everything you do in your entire life, and this goes for, I didn't want to talk about it earlier, but the podcaster also named Charlie. I think John Marco Soresi said it best. If you want people to say nice things about you after something bad happens, say nice things in your life. Anything you want to mention about Raja Jackson?
It's a serious topic, but
yes.
It's gonna haunt me. Elliot Stabler and Olivia Benson. He said Elliot and Stabler.
I don't watch enough Law and Order. My bad. I
watch way too much Law and Order to allow you to get through with that. all the iterations. Anyway.
Yes. Anyways.
No, I mean, obviously, that's good to see justice done. I'll let you decide on which thing I'm referring to that we talked about. Maybe cut that.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But keep this in as an aside just before we head out, because it is the sun is down, and I would like to wish all of our listeners a happy and healthy new year. Shana Tovah.
5786, let's go.
That's right. That we're gonna party like it's 5777.
Wait, what?
Well, everyone's always like, we're gonna party like it's 1999. So every year at Rosh Hashanah at dinner, I go, we're gonna party like it's 5762, and that gets a big laugh from the cantor. I'm sure MJF has feelings about his cantor.
Well, listen, someday we'll find out. Well, first of all, Shana Tovah, Happy New Year to our friends, family, everybody out there in the world who's celebrating. It's a hard time, but we're here for you, here on
The C Show.
Of course you like The C Show. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with your friends. Support the show directly at ko-fi.com/cshowpod. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube at C Show Pod. Have a question for the boys? Send an email, cshowpod@gmail.com. Thanks to our friends Amir, Patrick, and Justin for their assistance. The C Show is a production of 832 Media. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.